What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and yeah, it looks like Miss Marvel is having some issues right now, setting horrible records for Disney Plus and whatnot. What's going on with Disney? What's going on with the MCU? Boy, I think there's trouble in Burbank right now. Folks are right now trying to figure out, hey, what's going on with our product? We're putting stuff out here like we normally do, but people ain't buying it. People aren't watching this. People aren't watching Lightyear. They got to be scratching their heads right now saying, hey, and then you turn around and you see old Top Gun Maverick just cleaning up with everything. You know, Jurassic Park is doing pretty good as well. So they got to start asking some questions, I think, down at the Mouse House and figure out what it is that they're doing. We're going to get to some comments from some folks, but you can tell right now there is a shift in the tide. People are starting to kind of turn away from Disney, you know, and like, you see what I got on, right? I'm a Star Wars fan, and I'm not going to deny it. They own my guys, you know, they own Star Wars. So I want them to do well so they can do Star Wars well. But it looks like they are struggling, and we're going to see if we can help them out a little bit, or at least show them where they're going wrong, because they probably aren't paying attention to the music right now and dancing the right way. By the way, folks, if you haven't done so already, go ahead, give me some likes, give me some subscribes. Thank you very much, and I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, let's check out this Miss Marvel stuff. Whew. But it says here, people might be burned out on MCU shows and films. Well, the film side of things might not be hurting, but it appears the shows have taken a significant hit. Miss Marvel is the newest series that has dropped, but it has achieved an embarrassing record for Marvel. 775,000 times it's been viewed in the first 5 days of being out. So this story is by GiantFreakingRobot.com, right? And it's referring to this particular tweet from Samba TV, where it's talking about 775,000 households have viewed Miss Marvel within the first 5 days. And you hear that number, says, hey, that don't sound too bad. But somebody asked the right question on Twitter. How many watched the other MCU shows in their first 5 days, just for comparison's sake? And then they answered the question. Well, you know, Loki had 2.5 million, and Moon Knight had 1.8 million, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier 1.8, WandaVision 1.6, Hawkeye 1.5. Like, everybody's up there at 1.5 and up is the norm, right? And here comes Miss Marvel with 775K. So you got to start asking some questions at this point, Disney. Why are people not watching this? You guys put money into this, you advertised for it and everything like that. What's going on? So here's my opinion. So number one, nobody asked for this particular character. Nobody cares about this particular character. I don't know how popular they thought this character was. Maybe, you know, Disney didn't know, or maybe they're just trying to say, hey, we need a young teenage character to kind of throw out there and let people watch. So yeah, we'll just choose Miss Marvel and off we go. Nobody liked this character. Nobody cared about this character. They put in a lot of money and energy and time into stuff that people aren't really looking for. And because of that, you get those kind of numbers, right? That's number one. Number two, and I said this from the very beginning, even with the trailer that dropped, this thing looks like it is a Nickelodeon TV show, a Disney Channel show for children. One of the things that Marvel didn't do, you know, for better or for worse, whatever you want to say about the MCU, it always took itself seriously. It didn't like kind of pander towards children or a childlike audience. They may have had a lot of jokes and everything, but overall the material, they took it seriously. You know, it was kind of like an all ages, you know, parents could watch it, you know, adults in their 20s and 30s and 40s that grew up with comic books, because that's really your audience, is the people that like this material to begin with. And you know, these shows should not pander towards any particular age demographic, in my opinion. You know, you're telling it to a fan that likes genre. If you like comic book material, we have it right here for you, and we're not trying to aim it towards kids. Like, that's what the little kids cartoons, you know, are for, and stuff. Saturday morning cartoon type stuff, Spider-Man and his buddies, and they're, you know, it's fun. I show that stuff to my nephew, he loves it, and that's the kind of stuff that you want to aim towards little kids. But you know, your Disney Plus material, your, you know, MCU film material, that should always have like a certain tone, and it should always be aiming towards the largest, base, in my opinion, of your audience. They've done that with other particular, series. Like all of these series that you see here, they've done that with that. None of these series can you say like, oh yeah, we're just going to make some kind of a Nickelodeon kids show. Nobody did that with any of these other shows. Even this Moon Knight show, which, I think it was a case of bait and switch, because they said, oh, we got this, grimy, gritty show, and that wasn't anywhere close to that. But even that, you can see right here, 1.85 million. So even that got people interested. And of course, it had Oscar Isaac, who's a known star. Forbes actually touched on a couple of these points, and I'll just brush on those real quick. So it asked the same question, why Ms. Marvel's viewership is reportedly lower than others. It gives kind of like those same numbers right here. But then it said, Ms. Marvel is the brand new hero. Yeah, I mean, and that's obvious. And nobody was asking for this brand new hero. She's not even a very popular brand new hero that everybody's flocking to and buying up all the comic books, and they can't wait to a Ms. Marvel film. Nobody cared about this character. Nobody cared. So that was kind of a strange choice. And then the lead actress being completely unknown. I thought that was a thing as well. Because again, nobody likes to walk in and like, what is this show about? What's going on? No, I got other stuff to do with my time. And just slapping Marvel Studios or MCU on it, is it not enough these days? As you can see, Top Gun Maverick is absolutely wiping the floor in the box office, and it doesn't have an MCU nowhere near it, okay? And other films have done just as well this year, and they don't have an MCU label on it. Doctor Strange and, Spider-Man also did very well, so we can't take anything away from the films, but I just don't think people are interested in Ms. Marvel, and it was a curious choice as to why they decided that they would put this particular character front and center in her own series without at least building up to her. Like, I would have thrown Ms. Marvel into an actual show somewhere else first, right? Like, I know she's supposed to be coming up in this Marvels movie, this Captain Marvel movie sequel with the Marvels. I may have done that before I had her own series, just to build up her character. Because as you can see, all of these other shows, right? These are all shows, with the exception of Moon Knight, that people know. WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye. People know who these characters are, okay? And then Moon Knight, like I said, is Oscar Isaac is probably the biggest, reason why people are tuning in to see this show. But also the folks that know this, it's like, hey man, they like you. It's kind of like this Batman type character. At least that's what I understood. I'm not a big Moon Knight fan, so I don't know. But nevertheless, they said that this character was like this big Batman type character, and this show was going to be very violent and brutal. And to me, they pulled the rug out for everybody, because it was nothing like that. It was nothing what they said. And then maybe that's the case. Maybe people just aren't trusting Marvel anymore. Marvel and Disney overall are starting to look very, very shaky. Like I've been saying, this phase 4 is phase poor. Frankly, Disney as a whole, they're starting to get very, very questionable, right? And you can see, I was checking out some comments. You can read through some of these comments here, right? And people are talking like saying, oh, it seems less Marvel and more Nickelodeon. Nobody knows who this character is. She wasn't popular in the Marvel comic universe. Exactly. Nobody cared about who this character was in comic books. So why did they think people would care about this character in television? Okay. Marvel and DC's success is based on comic book fans, people who know the characters for years and want to see the story in live action. This character wasn't a popular character, and none of her books sold. So of course, fans won't want to watch the movie, in this case, a TV show. Disney and their shareholders need to make a decision. Either return to entertaining children or continue indoctrinating children. Like, that's another thing. Disney is starting to come under fire from a lot of folks for what they feel is material that's indoctrinating children, okay? Like, and we talked about this with the Buzz Lightyear movie and the same-sex kiss. Like I said, I personally think that it was a poor choice to put a same-sex kiss in children's programming. I think parents are going to parent, right? Parents going to parent. They're going to say, nah, I'm not taking my kid to see that. Whether you think that's right, wrong, or whatever, that's what parents are going to do. And as you see, $51 million, the numbers don't lie, So overall, I think it comes down to this particular fact that people are just not into Disney right now. And Disney has some decisions that it has to make. But folks, what do you think about this? Go ahead, drop down in the comments. Give me your thoughts, your opinions, and your suggestions on Ms. Marvel. Why it's not doing well, and what do you expect from it going forward? All right, folks, thanks for watching. See you next time.